Ladies and gentlemen, we're writing a paper. It's on one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years called Get Out. And what I like about Get Out is Jordan Peele, he has a theme, the Sunken Place, and it's very specific. It's very specific to Chris, the main character of the movie, but it's also broad enough to have universal appeal for all of us. And the Sunken Place is the number one theme that is discussed by people who are fans of Get Out, and I am a fan of Get Out. And we're writing our final essay on Get Out. And this essay asks you to define the Sunken Place in the context of the movie Get Out. You can use other sources. You can use Frederick Douglass's amazing narrative. You could use 38 at the Garden about Linsanity. You could use your own personal life. So let's define the Sunken Place, and let's give the Sunken Place some distinguishing characteristics, and let's give some specific examples of the Sunken Place. So what is the Sunken Place? The Sunken Place is when you lose all of your self-agency, your free will. You free fall down a rabbit hole to a place where you are despondent, helpless. You're in a state of inertia. You're in a state of paralysis. You're in a state of apathy. You have no purpose. You can't seem to get a grasp of anything. You feel completely helpless. And there are specific reasons why Chris, the main character of Get Out, goes into the Sunken Place. And he has a very specific Sunken Place in his life. But the Sunken Place has broader areas regarding the way the Armitage family treats him. He knew he shouldn't have went. He didn't trust his instincts, and now he's going to go to the Sunken Place at the Armitage residence. So what's the first cause of the Sunken Place? The first cause is what we call inertia, paralysis through inactivity. The hardest thing to do when you have to write an essay for a college class is get off your you-know-what and start the essay. You'd rather just lie in bed and text your friends. You know you're doing nothing productive. You're in your little comfort zone. You're taking your little warm bath. And it kind of feels good, but it kind of doesn't because you're nagged by a sense of guilt. You're lagged by the knowledge deep, deep down that you're wasting your life. You're squandering your life. And you want to get up and do the work, and you just can't because you're in the Sunken Place. In some cases, laziness is a Sunken Place. Let me tell you, Jordan Peele, when he was a kid, he used to watch a lot of TV, and he would just sit there. Oh my God, this is my Sunken Place. And he knew he had to develop a voice for himself. He needed to develop a purpose to get him out of his apathy. He wanted to be the person on the other side of the TV screen, the person creating content, the person with a strong point of view. It fascinates me that Chris in the movie Get Out is a photographer. He has a camera. Surely he is the surrogate of Jordan Peele. Surely Chris has developed this strong point of view. And this is what helps him survive in the movie. To not have a strong point of view, to not have a strong voice, to be silenced, that is a Sunken Place. And I always tell my college students, you got to go to college, obviously for practical reasons. You're investing time and money in college, and so surely you want a job that makes money. But one of the reasons why you go to college is also to develop a personality, a point of view, a voice. And to not have a personality, to not have a point of view, to not have a voice, is to be in the Sunken Place. My daughters have a name for this person who has no voice, this person who's been silenced, this person who has no personality other than to repeat cliche slogans and scripted cliches. This person's called a non-playable character. You don't want to be a non-playable character. And you know what, man? It's easy to become one. It's easy. I know people who, they got out of high school. They didn't go to college. Just got a full-time job. Made money. And they just live for the time clock. I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta get off this job, man. I gotta punch in my time clock. I gotta get out of here. And life just becomes, you get up, you go to work, and you consume stuff, and you don't even have time to process who you are, to create a voice for yourself. And you escape the despair of being in the sunken place just by consumerism. If you can, you just buy nice stuff all the time. And even that wears off after a while. Even the person who indulges in consumerism eventually will just go to the sunken place anyway. And so Jordan Peele, he became an artist. He became a comedian, a writer, a screenwriter, a movie director, a person who has a really significant voice on what's going on in society. And so the Sunken Place is very specific to Chris. In his case, we learn that when he was a kid, his mom didn't come home. Mom didn't come home. Should have called 911, but he just kept watching TV. Then he finds out that his mom died in a hit-and-run car crash, and now he has guilt. He has this trauma point of guilt and self-blame and self-loathing, and this becomes this very specific sunken place. And so another thing we realize about the sunken place, it is a form of emotional baggage. We all carry some degree of emotional baggage. And you can't go in the past. You can't relive the past. It's worthless. You have to process the past, and you have to learn life lessons from the past so you can move forward. If you don't do that, then you're prone to relapsing over and over again into the sunken place. And so we don't want that to happen. Chris has a very specific dilemma when he visits the Armitages that gives him a very specific form of sunken place. It's interesting, he's being stereotyped by this family, and they're not low information people. They don't come from the sticks. These are cosmopolitan, well-educated, rich. I mean, they're filthy rich. What do I call this group of people? I say they come from the managerial class. They like to think they're enlightened. They like to think they're progressive thinking and forward thinking, and they say all the right things. They make sure human resources has all the correct paperwork. But what we learn about the Armitages is that they are incapable of authenticity. And everything they say to Chris is a form of patronization, a form of phoniness, a form of fetishizing him for his skin color, saying, what do they say to him? With your genetic makeup, surely you could do so much. And going out of their way to tell him how enlightened and progressive they are, when surely anyone who tries that hard to go out of their way to show you how colorblind they are, surely they're revealing that they have a problem with it. And Chris is smart. He sees this phoniness right in his face. And he's with his girlfriend. He wants to make a good impression on the family, but if he says something, he will be the angry black man. I don't want to be the angry black man. I want to be cool. I want to be chill. But if he doesn't say anything, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to play nice. I'm going to let these phony people just rub all this disgusting stereotype filth in my face. And then by saying nothing, now I compromise my self-respect. And now I'm not trusting my voice. Now I'm silencing myself. I don't want to be perceived as the angry black dude, but I don't want to silence myself and compromise my self-respect. Now I'm in a catch-22. Now I'm in a dilemma. This is a very specific sunken place for Chris Washington. And what's amazing about the movie is you can't just give the viewers the sunken place. You have to give people an alternative. You have to give people hope. And who does that exist in? Well, first of all, Chris Washington has some hope in him. I mean, he's a photographer. He has a strong point of view. He's smart. He's going to get over this. But not without his friend, the hero, Rod Williams. Rod Williams represents the risen place. Why? Because at the end of the movie, what does he say? He goes, I'm TSA. I take care of stuff. It's not exactly what he said. I'm paraphrasing. But I'm TSA, man. I take care of stuff. He takes care of his friends. He takes care of business. He takes care of his priorities. He's a man of purpose, and he's a man who knows how to take care of his priorities. He's a man who cuts through people's BS. He doesn't let people gaslight him. I'll tell you what else I like about Rod Williams. He's funny. I love people with a sense of humor, and at the same time, Rod Williams, he's very serious too. He's very serious about loyalty to his friends, about protecting his friends. You could trust him when you leave your dog with him to dog sit. He's not going to feed that dog human food when he knows the dog has IBS. He's a man you can trust. He's a confident man. He trusts his voice. His voice will not be silenced. Love Rod Williams, hero of the movie. I love the life lessons we can get from this movie regarding the sunken place and having a lack of purpose and being stuck in empathy and inertia and entropy. Entropy is the disintegration that results when we're inactive, when we're idle. I love the broad themes. I love the specific themes as they pertain to Chris Washington. I love the fact that Jordan Peele took this movie about the sunken place and he combined horror with satire in a movie that's gut-wrenching and riveting. Comes in a little under 2 hours. Amazing movie. I don't think there's one wasted shot in the entire movie. Just in terms of economy and efficiency. Chef's kiss, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I gave you a good background into the sunken place. I hope that you find the sunken place is not only understandable in the context of Chris Washington, but for you as a college student. We will discuss this, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I'm out.